oh so excited that I simply cannot wait. The last game of the day, Ruddy Esports looking to improve their score to 2-1 and bounce back after a rough game against Ruddy Esports. They want to cement themselves in the chasing pack, chasing the undefeated teams, and they need to in this game if they want to put themselves in that group.
And likewise, right, Nativz, both teams are really looking for a win here. We have one win combined between the two teams, so we're not exactly in a position where these two teams can just be giving out losses for free. And like we've mentioned, the expectations of our two teams coming in are vastly different. But I think that Nativz have shown a little bit of an extra side that I wasn't necessarily expecting coming into the season. Now, both of our top sides looking for a bit of a skirmish here, unexpected, not quite with the homies as they're getting a little bit bullied out on that top side, but it is a ward given over to the blue buff / Gromp area on Nativz' side that's not actually responded.
Yeah. So, looking at the junglers here, right? This is the first time we're seeing Maokai today. Can you take me through what Maokai really wants to do here?
He wants to clear his camps early on. He also wants to just use saplings to be annoying. That is the main thing, is you build AP and you just, like, quarter HP people walking to check objectives. It's really obnoxious for supports and for junglers that are looking to set up around an objective. So you'll quite frequently see a Maokai just spend a minute or two sitting around an objective before it's spawned, littering the brushes with water, with little saplings.
Very strong trade down here in the bot lane for the Nativz bot lane as they secure a great trade onto Den Voxner, who will have a rough time here. Good 1-for-1 in terms of autos, and that's definitely an advantage when you're the one with the most health. Good start here. This is just what they want to continue doing. Just keep poking away, keep prodding at the HP part of Ruddy yet though. Let's just knock up Baloo. Health already popped, and that's another heal as well. The fight continues as it's now Nativz on the back foot, having lost 70% HP on both their players.
Yeah, Nativz have got this double range matchup, right? So they're looking to try and punish their range advantage. Unfortunately, when Baloo walks into melee range of Nash and gets knocked up, they lose that. They do have, however, just good enough dueling power between having level 2 advantage and the Ash slows to be able to take a fight right there. So it's summoner spells burnt, but all flashes are staying the same. So combat summoners rather burned, and the flashes level for all of our bot laners. If Ruddy can find an engage with the Rakan, then there's obviously an angle for them to find a gank, for them to maybe find a kill as well between the base damage from Hail of Blades. But the issue he's going to run into is now that this Wukong is on the bot side of the map and their jungler is actually headed up toward this top side. Pathing towards a Cassante is not necessarily what we expect. It's not the easiest gank to get off, but it does give now No Name a reset into beeline it bot angle if he wants it. Like, they're going to take the crab, get a reset. It means that his bot lane is going to be in a bit of a sticky position for the next minute or so. But once he gets this crab, finds that reset and can head back toward the bot side, we need to see Nativz have either pushed out the wave and have it reset, or them just have backed off entirely.
To zoom out a bit and look at other parts of the map as well. Something has happened in the mid lane, forcing Unexpected to back, and then using his teleport very early to get back in lane. Neither full HP, half mana. Doesn't really seem like he needs to back anytime soon, so not sure what has happened there, but something that forced a massive cooldown out of Unexpected.
Yeah, and like you say, Nita, full HP, hasn't really burned any summoners, hasn't really burned any cookies either, so must be just good trading from Nita. We got to see both of the junglers on the back of their first clears head to the blue side jungle of their enemy counterparts. They've got wards down for when that Gromp respawns, so it's full information really for both of these teams, provided that said junglers show on the wards. You can see No Name actually taking a really nice path right here. He's going to get spotted out by Baloo, which is a bit unfortunate because otherwise he'd have this air of mystery about where he actually is. They know where exactly Flawed is at the minute, seeing him on that ward, and obviously seeing out No Name. Oh.
Very aggressive Flash, questioning himself a couple times.
you can take the player off Lee Sin, but you can't take Lee Sin off the player.
Yeah, regardless of what happened there, I'm just gonna act like nothing happened, and instead, I'm gonna tune my eyes towards mid lane. Not only is Flawed there, so could potentially look for a gank after having taken the Raptors, but I also want to talk about Nita. This is someone, many of you, if you just started watching League of Legends at the ERL level or somewhere around that, or maybe just watch the NLC the past couple of years, you might not know Nativz. But he made his name originally back in the Danish scene on a team called Fortress, and he made his name quickly. He got out to Italy back when the Italian league was pretty much all Danes. They had Texas, they had Gubi in there as well. And Nativz, he made it to the European Masters. He got famous for playing a side mid, and he got hyped. He got really, really hyped after a good performance, considering the standard of PG national teams over at the European Masters. So Mad Lions Madrid, they thought they should pick him up, and they did. They tried multiple different teams, multiple different coaches around him, but they just never worked out. And over the past 2 years, where they have just fumbled until they even got relegated down to the second division of the LVP, they finally decided to change something. Nativz had to go, and now he has made his way back to the region he was originally made, a chance to reprove himself and show why he was one of the hottest prospects Europe had after he spent in the PG Nationals. And I'm so excited to see if he can thrive in this new environment.
Already doing a good job, right? Forcing the TP from unexpected early on, having some decent trades, having that CS advantage as well. Looking good as Rifty. Gets a little bit of a trade down on that top side. Thought he was going to go for an all-in there, but Spoon is able to dash out of the stun and doesn't quite give the angle. But the solo laners for Ruddy right now are doing a very good job. There's been very little jungle influence so far this game. Unexpected has shifted to help out Flawed a little bit, but Nativz is having his way with the mid lane, forcing Unexpected back once again. That means that there's a massive wave going to get crashed that is going to be missed out by the Talia. And again, this is just solo lanes being solo lanes and dominating in the 1 versus 1. No Name has been there to give a little bit of support with vision, but you can see Unexpected's got to walk all the way back to the mid lane. No teleport. Yes, he's got that passive, but got to credit Rifty and Nativz. They're doing a good job thus far.
So far, so good. Even in gold, Drake on the map. There will be a Herald in 40 seconds as well. So slowly but surely, the neutral objectives start mattering more and more as the level 6 are getting ever so slightly closer. Won't be long until No Name and Float will have hit that. Couple more waves as well for the bot lane. So let's see if anyone rotates, especially Nativz who have just reset. If they move towards the Herald, that could signal a potential fight around there.
Baron? We're 7 minutes in, Duckling.
Sorry, I meant the Herald.
I mean,
I can't believe
I'm down for a fight around the Baron. Just when the Baron spawned. Anyway, you're not wrong, right? This Rift Herald, we've seen it every game so far today. At least the NLC teams have really got this read on when they're supposed to be making these rotations. The differentiation we've seen so far has been between how many people make their way up toward this Herald and at what timer. Then Voxnate and Remix, both of them, nah, don't want that. I want the fight on bot side.
Spend up with the Cyclone, all in popped as well, has to jump around with some fancy parkour. Oh, Rifty! That's the fancy feat. It is so well played to get out of that 1v3. And that is the prize that he gets. Oh my god, that was nice.
Well played by Rifty, man. Again, just absolute sidestep kingdom. Gets caught out on a 2v1, but manages to escape somehow. Burns the flash to get one side. It may well give over this Herald, but he's TP'd back into that top side. Means that he's actually got an extra reset, spent a little bit more gold. And now the rest of Ruddy, they're coming up through here. Then Voxnate has got first move from bot lane. If this fight goes too prolonged, there's going to be an advantage to Ruddy. We'll have to wait and see, though. This could be over before the 4-man even gets completed. And it looks like it's going to be No Name with that eye smite combo. I say combo, they're not even comboed. It is what it is. They're going to be able to take that Herald, and Nativz do have to back away.
It was a very nice combo. The auto tech into smite combo. It's never before seen.
The jungle special.
The game will now slow down. Yeah, the jungle special. I know all about it in my Diamond 2 journey. Regardless, though, it is the Herald over. No one died thanks to the fancy feat of Rifty. So still no first blood. A quiet game here. And I'm very happy about that because that means I get more time to talk about the players. And you just talked a bit about Rifty, his fancy feat and how he's performed well. But this guy, if you didn't know, he did actually qualify for the Amazon European Masters in spring 2021. But he didn't go because if I remember, it was some connectivity issues. Something made him didn't go with the Lions from the EPL team he qualified with, so they had to get in a substitute, which was really, really unfortunate. And then I don't know what happened, but he ended up in Division 3 with Ruddy. So he stuck with them ever since, and now he's building his name back up, considering just 1 year ago he did qualify himself into the Amazon European Masters.
And once again, showing the pedigree of Amazon European Masters, EMEA Masters that it's going to be for 2023. Really putting a dumpster on Spooder on this top side. 30 CS to the advantage for him right now, and had got his flash burn. That's not really changed the course of this matchup either. Look, 500 gold to the good right now, just based off of that farm alone. Can't really complain about how well he's played out this top side matchup so far. And when you're on one of these super scalers like the Jax, of course, this champion, incredibly powerful on the current patch with the rework that came through during the preseason, is certainly something that is going to be fearful for the Nativz bot side, right? Jax has always been a difficult champion for ADs to try and take out, but now that he just has more things in his kit, it's going to be even more difficult. Drake gets taken by Ruddy on the bot side, and that's the second objective secured for them with the absolute kingdom on neutral objectives thus far. Really just feels like everything's going their way. Granted, there have been no kills, but they have CS leads in solo lanes. They've got all the objectives. Now, Flawed.
Yeah. Talking about a lack of first blood, then Voxner could be in trouble. Cyclone popped again. Flash and heal burn, but then Voxner able to get up with his life. Very important, there's still no first blood. 11 minutes in. Snyder almost rotated, but goes back into mid to push out the wave.
I'm gonna say, Duckling, that should have been a kill. Baloo's arrow went wide there, and it really cost them dearly. I think if Den Voxney gets caught by that arrow initially... Oh,
Spooder. Very interesting. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something with Cassante for the solo bolo first blood. Oh, that was clean.
The first game of the LCS was Tenacity versus Fudge, and it is an identical scenario. Spooder all outs Rifty back into the turret, finds the 1v1 near his turret, and despite the fact that Rifty had been absolutely dominating thus far, gets caught and gets taken out.
And Nonin, though, have found himself a victim. Unexpected, forced to flash out to safety, as he will still be rooted up. And let's look at it one more time. Can you tell me what happens?
Well, he gets all outed under the turret, and then with the extra AD, just a couple of Q procs is all that is needed. The Q gives you an extra little boost to your auto attack as well if they've been marked. So it's honestly fairly like low level Cassante stuff, but if you do it all in conjunction with a turret damage, it's gonna kill a Jax. Quite simply.
I mean, it looked pretty cool regardless, right? I mean,
it did
was
look
just a
cool.
lot of
I
pressing
can't take
buttons,
that away
but he
from
pressed
him.
the buttons very nicely. And I can't blame him for that. That's a very nice first blood for Spooder. So Nativz striking first, although 800 gold behind, a Drake and a Herald behind as well. And talking about the Herald, there's only 1 minute until the plate falls. Where should we see No Name put it down?
I'm hoping that it goes... well, I was hoping it goes mid lane, Duckling, I'll be honest with you. Because I think that Voxney is quite happy being on his own little island. I think that the top side as well, Rifty's proven unworthy of the Rift Herald, but you're going to get a couple of plates here. You get Nita an extra advantage. Remember, neither of these mid laners have particularly had jungle priority or jungle presence this game, but there's a 35 CS lead in the mid lane. Nita's got himself a bounty, and funneling those extra plates into the Syndra, we could genuinely see a Syndra really do damage this game. We haven't really seen a particularly wow moment from the mid lane, from any of the mid lanes this game. Particularly, I think Errol is the closest that we've got, but I think that Nita's on track to be the person that we look at to go, oh wow, that was a lot of damage.
I am really impressed by the performance Nita's had this game so far. Just look at the CS lead he has managed to build up. He's 1 level ahead, 35 CS ahead at just 13 minutes as well. Considering Unexpected hasn't been roaming an exceptional amount or anything, this is just a pure outlaning lead that he has built up, and it's really, really impressive.
And largely as well, I mean, this is obviously the counter matchup that Nita wanted, but has done a very good job regardless, knowing his ranges and how to play out this matchup. He's always using scatter to start engages and then has always disengaged by the time the stun has worn off. Now we get to see a bit of a move from Nativz. They're capitalizing off the lack of numbers down on this bot side. Then Voxney ults. Just caught by the clone though, and that is first Brit going.
And in the meantime, though, Ruddy is taking control over the top side, taking away stuff up in Nativz jungle, and that is also putting a bit of pressure on Spooder, who will likely be pushed in here by Rifty. As a dive could potentially be on the cards. I don't think it's a good decision necessarily, but could be on the cards, with Nash also being up on the top side.
They really get... I think they steal away this camp, right? And they've got control over the Rift Herald that is spawning now, but this is obviously at a fairly decent commitment to the top side by Ruddy. They've now moved Denvoxne up to the mid lane as well. They've got all 5 members around. Hopefully they can use this second Herald to break down mid tier 1. I also want to quickly touch on the Denvoxne build path because we don't frequently see this from Varus. I mean, we've seen tier and lethality a lot of times before, but this is actually Youmuu's rush. It gives him a lot more mobility on the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimate connects, but nothing happens. I mean, they go on the hunt route, but they don't hunt for anything.
Yeah, that's not how we want to be using those ultimates by Nativz, I'll be honest. Again, I touched on their pick capabilities, but they're using all of the tools and then not actually finding anything. May well see Ruddy look for a fight here as well. You can see this Drake spawning now in this second. Nativz without those big ultis on the hunt of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Ruddy feel free. They're just going to put down this Rift Herald. That could be an ambitious TP. Fortunately, it's a Cassante that's landing. Not something a bit more squishy. But they use the Herald to buy priority, get themselves the tier 1 turret, and then move into the river.
Yeah, so they have control over the road. This is something you talked about as well earlier. Rude. Maokai just gets so much control around these objectives, and you can see they're just poking and prodding away at the HP bars of Nativz. Force them to walk in as a 5-man unit to try and secure this Drake, as they will now try and hold on. No name! That is the quickness! If I have ever seen one, 4-man! It's gonna be an ace! And this is just domination from Ruddy.
Nash has just destroyed Nativz in one fell swoop. 4-man charm, 4-man knock-up. The Cassante's like, hey guys, I'm buying time over here. It does not matter. Knight and Nash just destroyed them.
Give me the replay, man. Nash, that is absolutely wonderful. Let's just take a look at it one more time.
The power of a pink ward. It's scatter into knock-up. It's Naita that sets it all up, but Nash saw the angle as well. Both of these two players deserve immense credit for that fight. I mean, we hadn't really seen anything not that special this entire day. And I think that Nash and Naita there, they've made up for it.
That was absolutely incredible. Wow. Nash and Naita team up. I don't know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. That was just so beautiful to watch. And they quickly turned this game on its head. Now let's see what Rifty can do in a 1v2. Not much against Spoot, I think, that's for sure. He gets bounced around in the bounce house. That is Cassante. He's trying to do something here. Not sure what he can actually do. Good damage, though. In the end, though, he should fall, right? Oh, no way. You have to be kidding me. And he's out. No, he does not get out of this. That's not okay. No, it was not okay. No way, man. Rifty gets the solo bolo in the 1v4.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a donation by Nativz, actually. They wanted Remix to have that kill. That's all it was. Incredible stuff from the Ruddy top laner, though. Finding that kill in a 1v4. You can see Baloo is trying to space the Jax out appropriately. But honestly, in that situation, you can never stand in range to auto-attack as Baloo. You just have to kite with volley. Ruddy, obviously, very far ahead off of the back of that fight in the river. Denvoxne now.
Whoa. Finally an arrow connects, and that means a kill straight into Floor's pocket as they manage to take down Denvoxne. And that's just a nice little kill to Nativz.
And what more can they get from this? They have got control of this mid lane now. There's no wave clear bot from the bot lane of Ruddy to make this difference, as it's Remix that's jumped on. Great spell shield stops the knock-up coming through. I think it is just going to be an extra wave caught. Don't know that they'll be able to extend enough for the turret. And even just the threat from No Name and Nash are going to be enough to dissuade them from hitting the turret here. But a good retribution kill. When you're behind like this, it's important to get just the baby steps going before you start to take more colossal advantages back. When you're down 5k gold, one isolated kill is a great pick to get for yourself.
So we're reaching the 19.5-minute mark, so slowly but surely the attention will be turning towards the Baron as well. But with this much of a goal lead in the favor of Ruddy, it's up to Nativz to try and stop them and buy some more time to scale up on that 500 CS silver win condition.
And thus far for Ruddy through the NLC, it has really been the just two sides of the same coin, where it is just stomp or be stomped. And I know we have only a 3-game sample size, but so far they are absolutely destroying Native in this game. And if they can close this game out with some semblance of cleanliness, let's say, they're going to be on track to be looking like an absolutely formidable team when they find that lead. It took them a little bit of time through the early game, but once they found that fight, it was absolutely demolition on the cards from them. Now we get to see their attentions drawn up toward this top side. We don't have a Drake spawning for another 90 seconds, so potentially a little bit of misplaced control unless they're not too worried about this dragon. They have got 2, so they've got that option to try and go for a trade. He's looking, he's sniffing, not found anything.
Yeah. He's safe. I thought No Name might just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I saw him, but instead he was not. He's playing it safe, and as the Baron is now on the map, we're looking at a soul point as well in 1 minute. Maybe Ruddy wants to secure the Baron beforehand, or just to wait it out, get that soul point in their control. They are really, really strong. Just look at the item breakpoints that they've hit as well, particularly on Nida in the mid lane. 2 items on him. No Name as well has reached 2 items. That's such a strong point for this poking Maokai. It's so hard to really enter any area as long as he's just throwing out the E's.
Of course, Ruddy did, like I say, spending that time on that top side. They've not been able to, lay down the saplings as deep as they might have potentially liked. They're going to need to use saplings, first of all, to clear these brushes before they can step too far forward. All 5 members of both teams are down here. Spooder joining from one side. We've got Rifty as well on the other. Mid prio, something to be fought for here. We have got piercing arrows to do the majority of the work and dark spears for the rest. But it looks like Ruddy are just going to get this Drake. You can see Nativz defaulting back up towards that top side. They're heading toward the Baron. They have got a 2-item Sivir. Not unheard of to see them go for a Baron sneak here, but they're not going to opt into it. That is far too risky when they're this far behind. No problem for Rifty to take down this Drake as a solo member of Ruddy. And now that Ruddy have sniffed out any danger, they know that that Baron's not going down. No Name can come over, join him, secure it with the smite.
So, for Nativz now, you're 5k behind. Yes, you have your Sivir slowly but surely scaling up, but at what point do you start fighting back? Because right now, they got away with top lane, that deals a little bit of damage on the turret, but they just gave up soul point for pretty much nothing.
It's difficult in this position. You're waiting till you hit those item breakpoints. I think ideally you say when Sivir gets IE, we start fighting. The issue is I don't think that Remix will have that Infinity Edge before the next Drake spawns. And now we've got 4 minutes before that Drake actually comes back up and the soul for Ruddy is contestable. They have every right to just say, this is all the time we need to go and set up around a Baron. Let's start playing for picks. Let's use Voxnail. Let's use Nash to find somebody who's overextended, clearing out vision. They can clear out waves so quickly between Syndra and Varus that they can control these top 2 waves so very easily. And with Rifty on the bot lane, there's no chance that Spooder is able to match him in the 1v1. Might just be able to wave clear up against him. But in an outright brawl, there's not a chance that Spooder can stand up to Rifty at the minute. So I think Ruddy have got a really good, clear path to play out these next few minutes. They are taking slightly desynchronized recalls, though. Voxnail's just now gone back after we've seen recalls come through from Rifty and Niter a little bit ago. So they are sort of losing time on the map, where right now they could just be playing very aggressively and stepping up on this mid wave. Fortunately, they may well get to do it anyway. We look at Rifty, he's got that flank on the bot side of mid, but nothing to be found from it. And great toggle as well from our observers. There's just no vision now in the top side for Nativz. They've got to face check every single brush, every single corridor. And when they do, they're greeted by Maokai saplings that are taking very large chunks of people's health because this is full AP Maokai.
It's not the old, oh, I'm just a tank Maokai. This is actually someone who hurts the demonic embrace and Leander's anguish. Definitely dishing out the damage, and his item starts to be completed on Voxnail as well. He's now on 2 items. His poke can definitely also be filled. So all I heard you talk about that monologue group was it's very hard to be Nativz at the moment. And I think that's a fair conclusion to draw because, yeah, you're super scaling, but it's just so hard to play in any of these lanes. And now you can see, Ruddy, I've started up the Baron. Let's see if Nativz even try and respond. 8k.
The Voxnail has got Chain of Corruption, so they can turn easily with that, plus the ultimate from the Maokai. They can turn off of objectives very quickly. They've gone for something here.
Yeah, Nash looking for Remix, unable to CC him up, and now he's the one getting hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Unexpected, looking for someone, but unable to find anyone else than No Name. And he's pretty tanky as Rifty. TP's in the front line as well to persuade any further engage. It is Ruddy getting away with their lives, and they get a kill as well.
And that's the jungler dead, right? They've got low HP on Voxnail and Ash. That might dissuade them, but you can actually sustain up off the Baron with Gleaming Quill, the Rakan Q, so Voxnail may get a lot of HP back off of this objective itself. Could just be the Baron going down here. 5k, there's nothing to be done.
Yeah, 4k Natives are trying to get something here. Snyder comes in from the flank. He finds Remix, but a good spell shield denies the damage. As they knock back Rifty, they're unable to get any kills. It's such a hard situation for Spood as he tries desperately to get something back, claw themselves into this game, but Soul Point, Baron for Ruddy, they've got everything they could have ever wanted.
I really like the positioning from Niter there. He's playing off the side of the pit, waiting for Nativz to step forward, and then as soon as he does, goes for the engage. Fortunately enough, Remix was there with a very clutch spell shield, doesn't get stunned and is able to walk away from the Syndra before the one pop would have come through. Not quite finished that Void Staff yet. Got the Blighting Jewel and the Blasting Wand ready to go, but if that 3-item spike had been hit, would be absolutely massive for this Baron push that they're now going to go for. And with we look at the Dragon timer as well, about 70 seconds before that one spawns on up, they're going to be able to push through this top side to try and secure any vision that they want to take this top tier 2. But I expected them to shift their attentions back down toward this bot lane, try and secure themselves the Mountain Soul. It looks like Ruddy is saying, we don't need this Mounting Soul right now. We're happy to just get as much gold on the map as possible. And if they commit too hard to that dragon, we're going to start taking structures in their base, not just around them. Because if they spend too long at, like I say, at this Drake, they've got the Baron, they've got means and opportunity to take the objectives back.
Ready though, I'm so in control of this game that they might just go for everything, right? Why not get the Drake when you can? They feel comfortable, they feel in control. The way they're playing at the moment just feels so comfortable. They're in control. They really do not care at the moment. As I say the same thing twice, we see them Voxner locked up for the second time as well this game. All out comes through, but the damage just not there for Nativz. And it's the one thing they're missing, is being able to actually kill someone. As Ruddy can now just walk quietly and nicely into the Drake, and they are able to get a soul point, a mountain soul point. They're not going to be any squishier from this.
Yeah, and you know, the ulti hits in a pretty decent spot, but then we see double knockback from Spooder that actually takes Den Voxnay to relative safety. Flash as well to buy the extra space. He's able to get out without losing his life, and now this soul is going to go to Ruddy. Rifty's doing work on the bot lane. He's got the Baron at his back, and Jax with the Divine Sunderer wastes no time when taking down structures. Ruddy have done a great job this game at finding just the smallest inch and making it an absolute parsec.
If there is one single silver lining, I can find here for Nativz, it is the fact that Remix almost has 3 items. That's the only thing I can look at and say, nice. It's something, because we know the 3-item silver hurts. But I know a full AP Maokai hurts as well. I know a 403 Niter level 16 Syndra hurts as well. 3 items, did I forget to mention that? It's so hard to play this game, even if you're Remix.
Let's run the simulation, right? Remix is level 14 now. He's 2 items down on Niter. Let's say he spell shields the stun, okay? Best case scenario, really. You spell shield the stun. Q is up in 3 seconds for Niter. He then has ultimate plus W. Those keys alone are going to do enough damage to kill you, and then you have, like I said, the regen Q with a 3-level advantage. There's no way that Remix is ever cutting through Niter in the time that it takes for Niter to kill him. It's just not foreseeable, and if worst case happens for Ruddy, they've got stopwatches ready to go.
So finally, the 3-item spike has been hit by Nativz. Maybe this is what Remix needs to get back in the game. The arrow connects for the 3rd time. This surely should be the kill. With that IE finished, a massive, it's a 450 gold shutdown. It's something back for Nativz. And something is very important at this point.
Yeah, and this just stops Ruddy in their tracks, right? It gives a massive reprieve of time. They can't push without Den Voxnay. He's the linchpin of mid lane that's holding all of the waves together. They're looking for a great synchronization where they can push all 3 in at one moment. With Den Voxnay dead, that's not possible. And it gives another minute for Nativz to try and get some gold back wherever it may be. They can clear out vision in their jungle, find access to that top side, because Baron is spawning in 1 minute 40 seconds. I feel like Ruddy, if they secure themselves a second one of those, they're going to be able to, at the very worst, use that time to play in the bot side of Nativ's jungle and then go for the Elder Dragon that spawns soon after.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes to that. With Ruddy slowly but surely closing this game out, do you feel this is the best choice? Because, you know, waiting for the Elder Dragon, in my opinion, just opens up the chance of a flip and flipping things not always that fun when you're in a
Oh, it
massive
does,
lead.
but I don't think that Ruddy would let Flawed get to the pit. They have too much stopping it, so things like Rakan and Syndra should just be too much to allow Flood getting anywhere near this pit. The way that they've controlled the side of the map that they want to play on has shown enough times that they probably won't let a Wukong get anywhere near where they want to be. Remember that first Baron where there was just no vision on the top side for Nativz whatsoever? Ruddy are the ones that are choking it out. They're doing it once again, right? Baron spawns in 40 seconds, and again, I think there's one pink ward behind them and a ward on Gromp, so they've got a little bit of a window here. It's better than it looked last time, but if we look at the Baron specifically, there's nothing there that they can see. If it's going down, it's all a guessing game.
It's just so hard to be Nativz at this point. The 500 silver win condition is getting ever closer, I think you could say, considering the fact that he's now at 300. But I'm still just grasping at silver linings. Just he's 1,000 gold ahead of the Vox. But look at the mid lane. That is a nearly 5,000 gold.
That just means that the rest of the map is 10,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, you're really hitting the head on the nail. That's a perfect way to phrase it, honestly, Rude. I'm almost running out of things to say because I just feel bad for Nativz, how hard this game is to play for them. And Ruddy are just so clinically, slowly but surely choking out every single breath of air Nativz have left in them. And now let's see how long Remix survive this. Because he's the only man, the only one to bring hope into this game for Nativz. And he's locked up, charmed, and he will be stunned up again shortly. Ghost and Flash already used as he tries to do some damage back. A good scatter the weak forces Floor to run for the hills as well, as they won't quite find the kill, but the Baron is in their eyes.
Yeah, I was going to say, all told, not too bad for Remix. He burns both Summoner Spells plus ulti and lives, so worth in that sense. However, we look at the rest of the map, and now all of a sudden, with no HP, Nativz can't contest this Baron. If they were to, they're going to get chunked out by the Maokai saplings that have been laid down. Unexpected is TP'd in, but I don't think this is going to matter. The Baron's pretty much gone already. Nothing really to be said. And with, like I say, that Elder Drake now spawning in 90 seconds, as long as Ruddy can control the bot side of Summoner's Rift for the next minute, I see no issue with them just being able to close out this game with either one fight, one push, one something. Because if they need anything more, we've got some issues.
Yeah, and I mean, while we have this time, Nativz are actually doing something. They're getting a very big bounty. That is a 350 bonus gold they get for taking that turret. And it might be the last turret they take this game, because here comes Rifty. There's no Flash, no Ghost on Remix. Spooder nicely kites for his AD carry, so I take that statement back. As Ruddy unable to find anything, but still, they had their fun, forced the Flash out of Spooder.
Securing themselves this mid-tier 2. You can already see, again, vision has been not necessarily established, but they're going to use the Maokai ult just to zone off of this turret. Remix able to use the spell shield, but I don't think you can ever step up to auto-attack Rifty here. You're down 2 levels, and look at the poke as well coming through. Then Voxnay just lands one arrow, nails Remix down to half HP, and all of a sudden, any source of damage that you were looking for from Nativz is just gone. We're allowing Nice to recall. He's got teleport, just go back, get as much power as possible, comes back out onto the map with that Rabadon's death cap. He is going to be one-shotting people. This is pure magic damage, no safety in builds, as Baloo is in a bit of a position. That blast cone is very precarious. I don't know that Nativz noticed there.
Spooder, pretty tanky. So you can step up here for a while, but there's a control war in the pit. It is near impossible for them to get vision. This is the last chance. This is the last hope. A flip here gives you a shot at winning a team fight. So Ruddy don't want to take any chance. They want to secure this as safely as possible.
Yeah, they just have to play slow. Mid lane is going to start pushing, and at some point, Nativz are going to have to commit to this. They're the ones that have to start hitting the Elder now, because look at mid lane. Rifty's already walking down. He's going to just end the game if they're not stopped. We've got the Nature's Grass coming through.
Yeah, Unexpected is back, but I don't know if you can deal with Rifty, to be honest with you. As it is now Remix stepping forward here, dishing out some damage, but look at the trade damage in return. Spooder nearly already melted. They find some kills. They find one. That's actually all they got, as Remix now forced to run. They go back in onto Nida, and he goes golden very nicely there. And he will fall to the boomerang. It's a trade of mid and top, but the yield and the game may be in Ruddy's hands here.
Neither of these two have got TP, but with Baron, it's still very easy for Rifty. He should just be able to take this. The Elder goes over as well. No steal for Remix, and he just gets popped by Voxne. Rifty, if he could just jump onto Unexpected, we'll probably take him down in an instant, but they're just waiting for the next wave. They've got enough time. We are 35 minutes into this game. Flawed is probably going to respawn Baloo as well, but they've got Elder, they've got Baron for another 3 seconds here. They want to end it here, but I don't know that they can.
Yeah, the wave gear is actually pretty strong. The game might not be over.
It's continuing.
A bit too soon. How is this continuing? Neither left. I mean, I guess the man thought it was over.
Nevertheless, the game is pretty much over, Duckling. Make no mistake. We've seen an Elder go through. I think that Nitha, should be back. But this has been a drawn-out one, but I do want to credit Ruddy because they've got themselves the win conditions as they've spawned, right? They've had a couple Barons, they've got a Baron, and they've managed to take themselves this Elder as well. If we require another Elder, I'm going to be a little sad, but it may well be the safest play to secure Ruddy their 2-1 start.
And let me take some time to talk about another player we haven't talked about yet. Let me talk about Voxne. I mean, you all know Voxne, right? Multiple NLC champions, the king of summer. He always makes these crazy reverse sweeps happen in the final. He reverse swept Fnatic in 2021 summer. He reverse swept X7 in 2022 summer. But I don't know how many of you remember. I know we as NLC fans collectively just try and forget that series. But when Dusty played against LDLC, he had a bit of a nightmare performance. He didn't play well. I'm really, really sad about this because I thought Dusty would do well when we got into best of fives. And I know he thinks this as well. Because most recently when Execute was being highlighted on the LEC, they threw a montage of all the times he solo killed Voxne at the Amazon European Masters. And he tweeted out, "Why do you have to showcase my trauma to 200,000 people?" So I'm really excited to see Voxne back now in the NLC again, our summer king. Reprove himself and just make everyone forget about that little trauma experience that happened over against LDLC and make us all remember the good times where he and his mental fortitude was able to reverse sweep X7, the favorites of summer 2022, and Fnatic Rising, the favorites of summer 2021.
Certainly a player worthy of highlighting, and definitely at the pedigree of the NLC, top tier as well. In a really good position for this game. Hasn't particularly been the star of this game necessarily, but has certainly been holding his own. Doesn't need to be one. We've got Nitha just popping people left, right, and center. The amount of control of this game, outside of that first initial fight, it's not looked like anybody in particular on Ruddy has stood out. It's just been that they've been so cohesive in how they need to close out this game. Rifty's had a couple highlight plays on the Jacks, but again, it's all off the back of having great setup from your squad so that you can make these styles of plays. Going for 1v4s and finding trade kills is not typically something you attribute to NLC level, but again, if it happens, it happens, and Rifty's made it happen today.
All right, it's been a good day for Ruddy overall. They've been really confident. Obviously, they've been picked out here and there, especially I highlighted Voxne, but he has been picked out a couple times today by the Asher in particular. But I think the whole team as a whole, as a unit, they've been on the same page, mostly, except for those couple picks when they've been picked off. But other than that, they've been choking out these objectives beautifully, ensuring that they would secure them. So they feel very safe. I can definitely see the improvement that they've made from last week, at the very least looking from the Riddle game. But then again, we have to remember you're playing against Nativz now, and you played against Riddle, and this is no flame to Nativz. It's just the fact that Riddle are, in many opinion, the best team that we have in the league at the moment. So losing to them is no shame at all.
No, exactly. And just a quick update for everyone as well. We have got some ping issues on Ruddy, I believe. So we'll make sure that we get those all sorted out before we get back in. It should be within the next few seconds or so, though. So shouldn't be hopefully too long before we get to see how this game concludes itself. And as in an expected way, we're hoping that it's going to be Ruddy that managed to close this one out. They've secured themselves the Elder, which I think has got another minute still to go. And Elder plus Poke is an absolutely lethal combo. You've highlighted Voxne, Duckling. This is his time to really highlight himself as well with some annoying Poke under the turret.
If that had hit, I would have liked to see how much damage that would have done. 4 items now on him as Ruddy are marching on towards the base. One last push you have to feel. As you say, the Elder Drake is still active. Change of
It's missing everything.
Oh my god, he's missing anything. Yeah, regardless, though, Ruddy will still be walking towards the base. And surely they will hit something soon, right?
They're going to go to top lane. Remember, when you've got 2 inhibitors down, go to the lane that you don't have the inhibitor down. Let the super minions do their work. They don't need the Baron now to start closing out this game because they can allow the supers to do the extra members' work for them. You can see it takes a little bit of time before they get cleared out. Probably not too much, I will confess. Remix is very scary on this Sivir still. 4 items completed. Granted, one of them is that Maw of Mortius, but it just gives a bit of safety over. I don't know that that's a legal pause, but anyway, we're gonna accept it. It's happened.
Oh, then Voxen is screaming over the car right now. No way I get it off third time. What is this? I'm griefing, guys. I can't. And then he just paused. /pause. There's no way he gets hit by it thrice. I mean, the man has an insane mental. Having him watch this guy play games behind the scenes, it is a joy to witness his calmness, both the good and the bad. Now that we have the time, I can take the time to explain. I sat in the room, the Discord call. I'm not acting like Trick have a fancy facility. When Fnatic Rising was about to be reverse swept, and they were tuning up. They had just Gooba Storm tricked twice. So you know what then Voxen said in the call between game 2 and 3 that started the whole comeback? No. These guys are really bad. They are so bad, guys. How can we lose to them? We just need to do this and this, and they are so bad, we can definitely beat them. And I mean, he beat them. He picked Caitlyn, and then Madly got a Cannon game as well after, and they reverse swept Fnatic Rising, a team with like 5-6 times as much budget. Then Voxen was underrated, didn't get picked up in spring in the NLC for 2021. He was playing on London Esports down in the UKLC. He was spending time in the UK. I mean, that's a bad time. And to then go over to a Danish organization and win the league, it was absolutely phenomenal. And no one expected Trick to win that split. They were rated 4th by the teams coming into the season, and they finished 1st. Upset everyone.
The Den Voxen special, big game player in the NLC.
He is a big game player. You can see it from this game especially.
Oh yeah. He's
I love
having
that guy.
a whale
I love
of a
that
time
guy.
here. I mean, we're still waiting on mid-lag issues, so we're hoping that those get resolved fairly soon, so that Nativz can obviously press Syndra buttons in an appropriate fashion. But obviously, with Ruddy largely taking their final steps toward a 2-1 week, I think it's a 2-1 open rather to the NLC. We really are starting to see the table shape up in a way which I don't think is surprising to too many people either. I'm looking forward to the games where we get to see the teams at the top battle against one another and the teams at the bottom battle against one another, because we came into today and we were kind of expecting all of the games that we've had. My leading benefit right now is that Middlecock got a prediction wrong. I don't know who he thought he was predicting that Nativz would win this game, but today at the very least that one has not gone to plan. Thank you, production, as well. That is great. Just to really rub it in there that he did indeed predict Nativz and got it wrong. Well, not wrong yet. I don't know. Maybe we see Sivir Gaming.
And we do also have to remember, Veteran also got the Vanilla one wrong. But now I'm happy I told that it might have been a mistake. Because, now he's on the right side. Then he can, defend himself. Like, no, I just forgot to put in my predictions, guys. That's why I voted for Vanilla. He's got a chance to save himself. But Middlecut, no, he just predicted Nativz. I don't know how you guys can be this bad at predicting. I don't think it's that hard. I don't know much about League of Legends. I'm a play-by-play for crying out loud. And I am doing better than you, Rude. I think you're the one whose job should be in danger, considering you're predicting this poorly.
Nah, like I say, last week I got taxa-gapped. I should have an extra win and you all should have an extra loss. Nativz should have had an extra win on the board. True.
I'm saying, not many people rated Taxa when I did. In spring 2022, it looked doomed. I mean, it looked doomed for all of Australia's talent, to be honest with you. It wasn't just Taxa by any means. It was a doomed team. Hard to be a Dane at that point in the NLC ecosystem. But I always knew, having seen Taxa's work ethic behind the scenes, that this guy was, made to reach the greatness. And he has now reached that mental Himalaya in terms of smite. Smiting four steals in 2 games. It is absolutely incredible. And something else that is even more incredible is that we should be back into the game right now. Let's just watch that error again. No, have we chrono shifted?
I guess.
No, the error just connected.
It's on cooldown.
The error just connected, and nothing happened. Okay. Disappointing.
They just didn't need to do anything with it, I guess. Top wave coming in. This is hopefully where they'll be able to break open the base. But again, we have to remember, wave clear, Sivir and Talia is incredibly high. So any chance to step up to a turret is pretty much unfounded. They are going to get this Baron. It should be for free, but honestly, if I'm Nativz, I just try and contest this regardless. I push in the bot wave, I push in this next mid wave, and I go for the Hail Mary 5v5. It kind of has to be done here. If they get the Baron, I think that Ruddy can't lose this game, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Nativz, they're going for the 5v5, and they're going to have to take one at these inhibitors. The mid one has just respawned. I imagine bot is going to be up in the next minute or so as well. So when Ruddy come barreling back down toward the base, you can see they're not even taking resets. They want this game over with. They're going to be heading in and hopefully finding a fight as soon as possible, because Nativz are the ones that need to find it, and they need to find a win somewhere.
I'm making it very clear as well. I don't want Ruddy to wait around any longer. Come on, guys. We've had so many pauses with connectivity issues. You need to just end this game. No reason to buy more time or wait for the next Elder. The arrow? That actually misses. Then Voxne, he's jumping in his seat right now. He can't believe he's this happy because he actually judged an arrow as he connects the feather. Not the feather, that's a clean. It's been a long day. Regardless though, let's see the engage. Nash, the quickness has been popped. He finds Remix, the only one who really matters to take down. Nash will fall in the process, but Remix will finally fall for the first or the third and the last time this game, as Ruddy now closing in on their second victory. As Voxne trying to pad out the KDA, but he keeps missing the Qs. Spooter though, very, very tanky as they slowly but surely will take him down. Rifty ain't having none of it as he ends the game and secures Ruddy.